Hey guys, my name's Lexus, and so today I have my best friend.
Hi!
This is Brianna. We honestly had a time when we put ourselves in a very dangerous situation meeting somebody off of the internet, off of a dating website. So today we're going to talk about that.
And how it got weird. Nobody knows this story.
Well, I told everybody in my family.
I haven't told anybody in my family.
Told a soul. We drove to your house to tell your mom.
And she wasn't there.
And I was like, are you going to call her? And you're like, David, go.
Yeah, I was like, let's
what?
just go. I went inside my house. I was like, I love you guys. I was like, I love you guys so much. And then I left. No, that was between us and everybody you told.
Alright, so around a year ago, I wanted to have my hand at trying dating websites. And this gentleman, I had started talking to him off of an app called Meet Me. And we had a similar breakup story, so that's how we bonded. And we talked here and there for, I don't know, a couple months, 3 months, something like that. And he was in the Marines. I had never talked to anybody in the military before. I was Snapchatting him at her house. He was at a party with all his subordinates, and he had got everyone to say hi, Lexus, to me. And so we said hi back in a snap, and he was like, oh, my friend thinks your friend is cute. So that's how she got involved. That's how.
And the story starts.
Yeah, that's how I got my best friend's life in danger.
Yeah, so he took a picture with like a group of friends, and then it wasn't the one I picked out in the group.
So it was him and his friend and me and her, and us four were Skyping. We were playing a game, and he was like, you guys should come over. He was like, we don't have to do anything. We were talking about movies, and he's like, why don't you guys come over? He was like, I'll cook for you guys. We can watch a movie.
Oh
Keep in mind that at this point, neither of us had ever met anyone off of the internet.
Yeah.
We'd seen a crap load of catfish. We both live with our grandmas, and so you know that don't meet anybody off the internet. You
Don't
know?
talk to strangers.
Yeah,
Like,
stranger danger. So we were both very cautious.
Oh my god.
But at the same time, we were like,
curious. I remember going in there to talk to your grandma, and your grandma was like, it's not a good idea. Yeah, we really took her grandma's opinion into perspective, you know,
Yeah.
and we wind up going, but
I mean, but we took right steps.
We did.
We told
We
an
did.
adult where we were going. I wrote down an address, a phone number. We prayed
Yeah.
over it. We
Goodness.
listed out the pros and cons. And he was even like, you know, I'm in the Marines, so I had to have a background check. But I still hear a lot of stories.
we had the GPS going. We got like all flipped around, like the GPS had us all off coordinates.
And I was trying to vlog it, and then my camera died.
Yeah.
I wasn't in my car, I was in my mom's car, and so her car didn't have an alarm on her car. The lights in her car were broken, but her car was in a better shape than mine. Oh, P.S. His military base was around an hour and a half away.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Oh, and to mind you, we got on the road at about
5 o'clock.
Are
But
you
we
sure
didn't.
5?
But we didn't end up getting there until we didn't end up finding him until around, was it like 7, 8? Because we got lost.
Yeah,
He gave us the wrong address on accident. Look, he was like, oh, I gave you the wrong address. And then he sent me a new one. And I was like, are you kidding? He took a picture of the address, and he was like, yeah, you were going the right direction and stuff, just the house address was incorrect.
Oh my
And I was like,
goodness.
you don't understand. Like, this is completely out of my comfort zone. We went to a place where we had never been before.
And it was getting
Yeah.
dark, you know, like it was actually getting late outside. Like, You're supposed to meet them in okay, if you're meeting anybody off the internet, you're supposed to meet them at a public place, preferably daytime. And, you know, don't go like an hour and a half away from your house. Be somewhere that you know. We finally get pretty much like around the corner from where he was staying at, so they drove to meet us.
Guys, I was so freaking frustrated. I pulled over, and I was like, look, this is where I am.
Yeah.
Now it's your turn. Him and his friend were in their car, and they were like driving around looking for us. We had pulled over by these apartments, right? And we didn't know that those apartments were super sketchy.
Yeah.
Okay? We both look like a hot mess.
We did. We went in sweatpants and t-shirts. Like barely
had-
any makeup, like nothing.
My hair was like legit afro, not combed. I didn't try to look cute at all. And then in the back of my head, like after we got there, it's like, even though I've been Snapchatting and Skyping this person for months, it's like, this is still my first impression. When he and his friend finally pulled up, he was like, all right guys, follow me. And I was like,
yeah,
pull over.
So she told him to get out of the car, and he got out, and then he was like, this is kind of a sketchy neighborhood. Like, his friend got out with him and everything, and then he went to go sit back into the car. She was like...
Honestly, I didn't even say hi to him. I was like, it's late, you gave us the wrong address, we're lost, I feel uncomfortable being in this neighborhood, you know, I'm putting my friend in danger too. And he's like, I'm really, really sorry, this is a sketchy neighborhood, we shouldn't be outside of our cars, like, let me just...
Yeah, so anyways, they got back into the car, and we followed them to a field. They told us to get out of our car and get in with them. So what did we do?
Hold on. Let's give us some credibility. Alright, we pulled over and I was like, what is this? And he said, because it's a military base, you can't get in without a badge. So you have to get into my car and I have to drive us onto the property. We saw like a tank, we saw military men like outside. So it's not just like, we saw a bunch of lights and he was like, that's the base. Yeah. So it's not just like, oh my goodness. Sweet.
We got into the back of the car. And we were literally,
repenting.
Yeah, I was like, it ain't gonna end like this. Like, it can't. No, it's not. It's not gonna end like this, you know? But I was like, Lexus, I was like, I love you.
We almost died trying to find men. It shouldn't be that hard. Yeah, but I mean, he was a really nice guy. He could tell that we were scared. I told him before I got there, like, I don't trust people. Yeah. Did we have pepper spray on us?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we had taken those precautions, and he was like, he took us on a little tour, and he's like, there's the police station, this is the number. Like, are you guys okay? You sure you're okay?
You're like,
and he's like, once again, here's the number for the police. If you, from my house, if you walk this way, you're there.
He was telling us how to get there. Yeah. And like, this is the movie theater. You know, side note.
Which had a bunch of military men just surrounding it. And I was like,
who are they? And then we went back to the house, and it was actually really cute. Like, he had a nice place.
Oh, keep in mind also, through all this, my phone was dying. Yes. And my phone was the only phone that was on. So as soon as my phone I didn't have a car charger either. Working. So as soon as my phone was dead, that was it. So
yeah, so we're playing Cards Against Humanity, and then we watched a movie. Yep, and Lex is all cuddled up.
Like, well, as soon as we got there, I called my grandma and I was like, look, I'm safe. As soon as I got inside, I started charging my phone. Since it had taken so long for us to get there, he didn't end up cooking. They just ended up ordering pizzas. What movie did we watch? Everybody was for, let's watch a scary movie except for me.
Because scary movies are the best.
We were in a place we didn't know with people that we didn't really know, and it's such a sketchy situation. And you're like, let's watch people get murdered. Let's just, why not?
Majority rule.
We ended up staying until 1 something in the morning.
Yeah.
So they drove us back to our car.
In the field.
Dark. But they didn't sit there and wait for us to get in the car.
No, they did not.
What kind of a man?
Sketch.
Where's your manners?
We weren't even in the car yet before they pulled off.
I mean, what if someone was in my back seat? Literally pulled up, let us get out, waited for a couple seconds, and then left while I was still looking for my keys.
They said bye.
Yeah. We drove home. Brianna drove home because I was like, I'm out.
Yeah.
When we were like 10 minutes away from the house, your mom called.
Funny. Yes, I was like, I was like, she knows. So she called, and I was like, Lexus, pick up the phone. She was like, I don't want to pick up the phone. I'm not talking to her. I was like, crap, okay, answer it. I was like, hey, mama. She was like, hey, what are you doing? I was like, I'm coming home. I'll be there in a little bit.
No, you were like, I'm with Lexus.
Yeah.
She's like, okay. I was like, I'm not here. I told you to tell your mama before we left.
I'll be there in a little bit. We got home safely. We got to live to tell the story, which is phenomenal. It probably doesn't even sound like extreme at all, but everything felt so sketchy. So sketchy. The field, parking in a field while it's dark. People, I'm
to
just
get
saying,
in the car
like,
with strangers.
to go into a military base.
If they were
Yeah,
twisted
don't do
individuals,
it. Don't do
one, when we got in their car in the field at nighttime, they could have just went in the opposite direction from the military base and done whatever they wanted to. We
They
did some
could have
things
had
right,
dudes
though.
waiting at the house. Like, it could have. It could have completely, like, just took a turn. It could have.
I mean, what kind of dudes? We were on a military base.
The ones at the movie theater one.
But we brought a friend, so we got that going for us. Look at that.
Followed one rule.
We left when it was daytime, so
Yeah, we did.
we got that going for us. There was gas in my car.
Yeah. But anyways, they were really cool guys. They didn't give off a weird vibe at all. We were honestly just chilling. They hadn't met anybody off the internet either, right?
Oh yeah, no. This was all 4 of our
We
first
could have
time.
been some serial killer chicks, you know, like Texas
yeah.
Chainsaw Massacre.
I mean, that too. Like, how do you
yeah.
know us? We
How
could
do
be
you
thugs.
know? Exactly. Thug Life chose us.
Especially
Like,
since we showed up looking busted. That is
Yeah.
the tale. That is the story.
that was story time, guys.
Thank you so much for listening to this story.
Yes. Hope you guys enjoyed our crazy experience.
Yeah.
One of them.
Be wise. We're passing our wisdom on to you.
Yes. Mama, I'm just letting you know right now. And it was only once.
We hope you guys have a good day. Once again, thanks for watching. Bye!
Bye.
Jeez.
That wasn't the seat, if you're wondering. Are you still going?
Oh, that's a motorcycle.
Oh no, it's coming out my window. Oh my god.
Excuse me.
Yeah, let's go.
Dude, I'm not even freaking joking. I'm not even freaking joking. That was a freaking monster! Oh my gosh, I forgot we were recording! Was that a beetle? Was that a June bug? What the? Oh my freaking goodness! Not even joking. It was about this far from my face.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh. And you left me abandoned ship, Titanic. I'm sinking alone. She's like, bye, Jack.